Applicants, do not be alarmed. I'm about to mute you and turn off your cameras. You should still be able to see everything. All right, commissioners, I have muted and turned off the video for all the applicants. You should all have live mics and live video.
Ready?
And let me check YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube, so Fab, whenever you're ready to start, we can begin.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I'd like to welcome you to the Edgefield County Planning Commission. This is our work session for May the 14th, 2020. I'm glad to have all of you present. This time I'm going to call this work session to order. Remember, this is a work session. We don't do any voting. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, dear God, for giving us the opportunity to be able to carry out this meeting, even though the conditions what they are. We ask you to go with us and guide us that we make good decisions, which is blessing to each and every one in this county. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, this time we're going to go into our meeting. We have several items here, old business. Our first one is a potential land development for the RV park. Florida is considering proposing the development of a recreation vehicle park in this development located on Edgefield Road on Potica 145 0000065 and 140. Florida applicant Mark Green of PE James E. Swift Association here joined the Planning Commission to this work session discuss the land development on this. So this time we're going to go into discussion on this.
Mr. Green and Mr. Floyd, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right.
Mr. Floyd, you want to start out with a comment of what I think you talked with us before on this and tell us what your proposals are here.
Just want to comment on what you're trying to do here. If you want. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay. I was just wanting to set up an RV park, basically. I mean, I already have a mobile home park that exists there, and I've been doing that for 25 years now, and I'm just kind of looking, wanting to do a little change, a little something different.
I notice here that you have the front is 2.1 acres and the other 3.10, and come in with a. Is that private road? Is that a present road now? You're going to add that to us when we coming in here? That's current private property there.
There's an existing drive coming on that 2.1 already for the mobile homes.
Right.
And then you've got the that Hayes Drive, which is an existing, goes back to that 3.10 acre. But they'll be interconnected.
So everything on that 2.1 is proposal, right?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Everything on that 2.1 acre, that's proposed, what you're proposing to do, that's correct?
Yeah, that's proposed, yeah, at this point. He's got, I think, several trailers on there right now, but that's what he's proposing to do at this going forward.
Also, the back portion is part of the proposal. If I may, Chairman, part of the application, if he formally applies, would be to complete a private road maintenance agreement that would be recorded at the courthouse for the drive that would be on the property. There's a few things that staff has identified that we've discussed with the applicant that would be relevant in order to apply. The first one is the minimum size to apply for an RV park is 5 acres. These two properties individually do not meet that requirement, but if combined, would. So that would be one of the necessary items in order to have that addressed. A second item would be if part of the drive was on this separate property here, which I believe is owned by the applicant's father. He can correct me if I'm wrong. There would either need to be some form of private agreement, or the property would need to change hands or be deeded or something of that nature. And there's another detail here, which is along the southern portion of the front property. That is a 10-foot setback on the property line. RV parks require a 50-foot setback. So before coming to the planning commission, he would need to seek a variance for that setback with the BZA.
So he'll need the 50 feet, just at it on the front, on the back to it also, right where you're pointing at.
That's, yep, that's correct. I believe it's on that front property lots 10 through 20.
Kevin,
Yes,
Go ahead.
Kevin, did you say that was it would have to be a 50-foot setback from the property line?
that's correct, a 50-foot buffer.
Okay, is that what is shown on these drawings?
So what you see on the drawing for all of the setbacks is 50 feet, except for the 100-foot buffer off the front property and the 10-foot buffer off of these lots 10 through
Okay.
20, which are along the bottom.
Right, so he would have to obtain a variance for that.
That's correct. If the applicant, and don't allow me to speak for you, Derek, but I believe there is the possibility that the property adjacent that is owned by your father could be included in the development, possibly transferred or something of that nature.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Are these RVs intended for long-term stays, or are they short-term weekend, 1 week stays?
I would say long-term.
So if those are
Are
going
you
to
planning
be,
on putting any amenities, any restrooms, showers, anything like that in the RV park?
No, sir.
What about dumping tanks?
You talking about trash or?
Liquid waste,
This is
sewage.
Doc. This is Doc. They would have to have a DHEC approved disposal system installed that would serve all the lots. They would either, they would have to put in a tank, and not necessarily one for each individual lot, but they would have to go through DHEC to get, the tanks appropriately sized and approved to serve as many lots as they have. So if they're going to have 30 lots, then they would have to get DHEC to approve tanks that can support those.
Doc, they would also have an option for interconnection to sewer utility, correct?
Yes. And if that's approved by the Edgefield County Water and Sewer Authority, then we'll be fine with that. But they have to have approval from both of those entities if they're doing sewer line, and one of those entities if they're doing septic.
Okay. And that would be done before they come back to us.
He's already,
That would be done after their development plan, but before their development.
I would say that the commission would have the ability to approve on that condition if it so wished.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, any comments?
No comments right now.
McNeil, any more comments?
No, sir, not right now.
Mr. Gordon,
No, sir.
Mr. Oliver?
No, I'm okay with where we are right now.
I am, so we're passed, we're going to our next item.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Thank you, Mr. Floyd.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll further pursue this in our meeting. Our next proposal is a subdivision on Rachel Avenue subdivision. Adam Brothers is proposing development of a major subdivision here. Be located on Rachel Avenue on Parker ID 16300001025. I believe Mr. Allen is here with us. And to join us on this wet section to discuss proposed land subdivision which we have before us. Okay, we're open for discussion.
Mr. Adams, I have unmuted you and sent you a request to start your camera. You should receive that notification on your screen.
Yeah, figure out how to do it.
If you look at the bottom of your screen, there should be a camera that has a red line through it. If you click on the camera, it should turn it on.
All right. Good.
There you are.
All right.
I think we're ready to proceed, commissioners.
Okay, all right. Mr. Allen, one question, what location there, do you own the property adjacent to the side there? I know Rachel Avenue is going to be.
I own 110 acres there.
Okay, right. So so what your proposal is just to go to front down Rachel Avenue all down the side of that private right of way there, right?
That's right. I purchased Rachel Avenue up to a point, and Country Haven Homeowners Association owns the rest of Rachel Avenue. I've made an agreement with them on these lots to bring my lots into their homeowners association.
Now, right at the, I'm looking here, well, Michelle Avenue going there, Michelle Avenue, you doesn't go all the way to the corner there, right?
I own Michelle Avenue also.
You own it also?
Yes.
Let's see, okay. I'm trying to picture, I'm familiar with that area real good there. Michelle comes down, okay. Michelle is the one that comes back to the main road out there by the mailbox, right?
That's right. It goes out to Woodward
Come
Lake.
in, make the right and go down, okay, yeah, all right. I'm trying to think, there's another street to the right there. What's the name of that? Some houses to the right there. When you turn on Rachel, just where your site is. There's some residents right there on the corner of your site there.
That's right. There's another road there and I can't think of the name.
I'm trying to think that too. Okay, I got the site and I want to make sure I had the one right here. Okay, so you're going down. And all this is screw up right now, correct?
Pardon me?
Oh, this is scrub oak right now, something pines or something.
That's
like
right.
That.
That's
okay.
right.
All right. Okay, any more commissioner, it's open for discussion. That's all I have at the moment.
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman. I think this subdivision, I think, will be in harmony with the existing stuff out there. I don't see any issues with it. That's my opinion.
Do you have, will any interest come off Woodward Lake Road, or will everything come off Rachel Avenue?
Everything will come off Rachel Avenue.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have no questions.
Okay, I'm real familiar with that area there, and it's flat there and ready for development. I think it probably would be a good development there. Most of that there's a private area coming in Twin Lake there, so well, I'm concerned it doesn't look bad. We can deal with it. Anyone else? If not, Ms. Allen, we thank you. Okay, you got one, Jane?
Yeah, this is Mr. Oliver. Just a quick, I'm not familiar with that area up there, but others appear that they are. Is this all on septic tank out there?
Yes, sir, there is.
Okay.
All
Okay.
on septic tank.
is that an area where it's really sandy soil out there? No
Yeah, it's
problem
just-
percolating.
Yes, sir, sir.
Okay.
All it is, so.
I
Poor
figured
land.
that was probably the case. Okay. No, that's the only questions I had.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Adams, thank you a lot for that. If there no more questions, we'll go into new business. On our new business, we on item A is proposed land development by Steve Arthur, right, he proposed development of a specialist store. And it's located at 1286 Augusta Road on Particle 159-0000002. Travis and Chris are here with us both of you here to
Yes, sir.
answer any questions, so forth. I'm gonna open the floor to commission.
Just a quick question. That area, is that located just right adjacent to Highway 25? Or is that,
This is directly off of Highway
It
25.
borders
is
25.
directly?
It's
Okay.
direct.
Okay.
And he proposing, I think, what a greenhouse there. Remodel existing building there, isn't that correct? Okay,
No, sir, we're not remodeling the existing building. We're gonna remove the existing building that's there after this is built, just because he's using it to store stuff in now, will be tore down and removed.
okay, thank you.
So did you say that the existing building that is there now, it's a small, older house that would be torn down at a later date or remodeled?
No, it will be torn down and removed because he has actually got plans right now being drawn to build his personal house in that position, in that area of the land.
Okay, all right, I understand. I drove by that about a week ago, or not a week ago, earlier this week. And I noticed there had been some grading done in that area, just kind of clearing.
Yes, sir. We hadn't done any grading yet, but we have taken down the trees, removed all the trees and the brush. Yes, sir.
Okay, I got a better view of what that land looked like. It's pretty flat right there.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thornton, you have any comment? Yes, sir.
Is this the orchard greenhouse? The orchid greenhouse?
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
Everything I've learned about this sounds like it's a pretty desirable business to have in the community.
Absolutely.
I would likewise say that is something different and unique that we don't have that many. That's a small business, I would assume, for Edgefield County. And I am familiar with Mr. Arthur and his wife, Renee. My wife had worked with his wife for a number of years at the hospital. And I knew Steve is just great with flowers. I mean, amazing. And he is Mr. Orchid Man. So I'm excited to see that this is a potential business opportunity for Steve and Renee out in this part of Edgefield County. So I think this is would be a great addition to the business community.
Okay. I agree with you on that. It's a good location. No problem, no traffic problem, anything be there. In that case, there where it's located. Anyone more comments on it? Not will. Somebody say. All parts, all minds clear. All right, next island is Tabit Hill, #1. They propose they propose development of a major subdivision on Stephen Road, Particle ID 125-0000012. Todd Brown here with us on this one. If you're honest on this wet session. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Right, you want to make some comments?
I would motion to approve.
We couldn't do that.
No, not yet. No,
Mr.
I
Oliver,
don't
I
have any
think that's your
comments.
pet peeve.
Yeah, but no, the plan that's before you is everything that you've seen prior to. This is phase 1 of Tavern Hill, and everything follows the concept plan as it was presented to you and to council. And no, we're just we're excited about getting started. So be glad to take any questions.
Hey,
Todd,
Todd,
question? Mr. Oliver, that's your pet peeve?
this is Mr. Oliver. Is there, I noticed that this particular phase 1, is this got the largest sections of green space of all of the 3 sections that are being proposed?
I'd
Or
have to
have you-
kind of, no, I guess I would say that you've got a big piece that kind of runs the railroad bed
Yeah.
that's kind of not, it hadn't really been determined yet about that kind of corner. It's kind of an odd piece. It's a little difficult to do anything with, but the largest green space is probably in the phase, well, I guess we would say the next phase if it winds up being that, but the kind of in the middle of your screen, you see a large green space. That's about the size of a football field there, but
Okay.
you know, this phase does have a tremendous amount of green space in it. In fact, when you come in, you've got a kind of a green space in front of lots 45 through about 51. Same for lots 21 to 27. And then same for, as you can see on the other side. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really a nice plan. It kind of presents well for green space and for connectivity with sidewalks and things of that nature.
Refresh us again. Kevin, can you scroll down to the entranceway off of Stevens Road?
I can
Okay, there we see it.
get in tighter. I apologize for any latency. This computer's running a lot at once.
Well, this entranceway right here will be used for this section for sure. And as the development goes, the next only other entrance is the one that will be on Sweetwater Road.
Yes, currently that's what's shown.
Okay. Will there be a sign on the one on Stevens Road, or will you put a sign or something up on just on Sweetwater?
No, there'll be something there at that entrance. It may not be quite as, I would say, maybe pronounced as what would be on Sweetwater Road, but it would be something in keeping with kind of the flavor of what Tavern Hill is going to be there coming off of Stevens Road.
Okay. What's the latest on the railroad track and the access there? Is any of that been deeded to the county, or is that a option down the road?
We don't actually own any of that down below, so that'll be something that would have to be dealt with I guess, a different party. We're certainly game to have access and to make that connection between North Augusta and, I guess, where's it go, Kevin, to Edgefield? That's where it goes.
Yes, it heads up towards Edgefield, near the Turkey Federation, where it shares a property line with the prison, and the other end obviously heads down towards North Augusta.
This is Doc. Also, as a note, the railroad still owns that property. So if the county wanted to pick that up, they would have to negotiate with the railroad.
To follow up on what Doc just said, this property here, this portion of the railroad, is the same property that's about 70% of the length of the railroad between the Edgefield County line with Aiken County and the town of Edgefield. It's split into 3 chunks. I believe this is a portion of the second largest chunk, but it may be part of the largest chunk. I'd have to check. You know what? I'm actually gonna check right now on GIS.
I can confirm that it is part of the largest chunk.
Okay.
Right below that is where it goes into that other subdivision and starts to break up.
Kevin, can you scroll down to that where it adjoins those others on Stevens Road? Just pull the,
Down here?
okay, it doesn't really show those up. There they are. I think if we discussed previously with everyone at Tavern Hill there, Todd, that you guys is there going to be an agreement between your Tavern Hill and those other 4 or 5 houses that are already constructed adjacent to you guys?
I think we gave them the option of that. They didn't have to, but you know, if they wanted access to some of the amenities that are there at Tavern Hill, they'd have to kind of come into the community association. That would be for Tavern Hill.
Okay, great.
Todd or Doc, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Those were built by Chad Blackston, I believe, who would be one of the builders.
Actually, Welch built
Okay.
as those, but he also is considered to be one of our builders coming into Tavern.
Okay.
They look great. I don't know if you've been able to see them or not, but those couple of houses, I think he's starting on the last one that's around the bend there. So
There's several of them are, at last I saw, about 1 or 2 were at least occupied, I believe.
yes, that's correct.
What's your idea on all those students driving up and down Stevens Road and your development there? Just your thoughts.
Well, the entrance where you see it, you know, as part of the plan is try to give as much line of sight coming out as we could.
Good.
It is no doubt that stretch of road is not the straightest one in the county, but where it comes out, and if you also notice on the plan, the setback of the houses or the buffer between the right of way and kind of back of lots and stuff, we try to give a little bit of space there too, so your line of sight is as much as what you can gain across there. I think probably once they start seeing probably some development there, it may slow them down anyway, just out of caution. But that's kind of the thought process that went into the plan for it.
Right, and I would assume, yeah, I would assume that also for the line of sight, that also means any shrubbery or stuff like that that's there. As we all know, high school students are not real observant a lot of the time. So, but I appreciate you putting that in the area. That is relatively flat up there, and you do have a better line of sight than most any of the other places along there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the geometries of what's happening there, the property line actually peels backwards from that entrance. So it kind of gives you, once you're out in front, you don't have anything kind of in front of you. It's all kind of behind you as you look down the road. So I won't say it's, you know, doesn't have its issues, but it's as least of an issue as we could make it kind of on that road for access where it's going.
Right, right. As far as the green space in this section 1, will that the use of those green space be up to your homeowners association? How you guys want to handle that? Or
yes, we're still trying to, you know, understand. You know, some will be formal, some will be informal. That'll be up to our partners, I guess, to decide what that looks like. But we're still kind of in a, I would say, a design and understanding phase, what we want to do with those spaces.
so is your projection to work to build out all of phase 1 before you work on phase 2 and 3?
Not sure. I would love for the sellout to happen so quick. We, you know, need to burn the midnight oil to get phase 2 going, but
there you go.
Not real sure. I'm, you know, like any developer, I'm sure once you get down to a certain level of lots, you want to go ahead and move forward with the next phase. That'll
Right.
kind of keep on.
So are you saying that you may lay out at least the roads and stuff for the entire development at first?
No, our grading is really contained to our phase one right now.
Okay. Okay.
I would also add that the infrastructure would be tied to their approval by the planning commission for each phase. Typically, what they will do is seek approval for a phase once they're ready to start the infrastructure for it. That's typical.
And you have natural gas out there, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you run that down Currytown Road?
I'm sure they'll be happy to drop you a tank.
You know, and now I see in this version that you have up there, Kevin, I think you're showing where the sidewalks are. Does that show them in there? Point some of those out to me.
Sure. If you see, excuse me, if you see the speckled
Yes, there.
indications, you can see the crosswalks clearly on the street.
Okay.
Am I reading that correctly? There are only 2 crosswalks?
There's one
The
at this
latter type.
intersection and one at this intersection. That's correct. Todd may be able to speak a little bit more to this. You will note the width of these streets here. I believe these are rear access roads, alleys, if you will, for the properties
Yeah.
in these 2 central sections.
I see. Thank you.
So
Should there not be one, I don't know how to point to it, but below you've got a corner. Shouldn't there be one on maybe 4 ways, or where you have the intersection, the 4-way intersection?
Oh, down here?
Yeah, there.
This is
Yeah.
at the entrance of the development, and there isn't a sidewalk on this side of the street. It's on the other side of the street. Or do you mean
Okay,
across?
so below is a different subdivision.
So yes, this down here is the access off of Stevens.
Mhm. And then below that?
Oh, further down?
Yeah.
yeah, that's Stevens Road there.
Let me go to this image. This might help delineate things. This is where we're looking. That's Stevens.
Okay, so just help me here on, for example, lots 22 through 26. How,
Yeah.
where do they make their entrance into their lot?
Off
On
the
that
back.
road?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
back alley. Yeah, they're alley loaded.
Okay, that's the only entrance they have then.
That's right.
Okay, and is that the same for lots 31 through 27? On just
Yes.
they both come in that same way?
And 32 and 21 would also do that. That's right on the upper side of that you'd have a
Okay.
side entry garage there.
So are those streets that will be generally open to the public? Is that, I'm thinking, I guess, down at the river down there where they have the extremely nice houses. I can't remember right offhand.
Hammond's Ferry?
Yes, yeah. There's lots of small alleyways behind those. Is that a similar setup there?
It is that setup, yes.
Okay, okay.
And that also goes for lots 65 through 71, lots 60 through 53, and
Okay.
61 through 64. So just, I think to maybe address Mr. Thornton's thought about the sidewalks, the reason that they're on that side of the street is that the front load of the homes are the ones that are basically on the perimeter of that property. And so instead of having the sidewalk necessarily traverse kind of through the drives that would be through there, if you own a home on that outside piece of property, then you are kind of crossing the street, if you would. But the connectivity, the constant walk instead of stopping and looking for cars all the time is on that inner loop, if you would, as you kind of go around. So that was the thought behind that sidewalk being there.
If I might also add to that, the green spaces within the development are within that area as well.
Mr. Another question. Are these like 22, 26, the lots like that? Are they 0 lot lines?
No, so they each have a 5-foot setback on either side. So they are close, but they're not 0 lot.
I'm not, I think I look at a lot of things in the building. No, this is not the actual building there, right? That's just
Those are the lots.
that's the lot. Right?
Yeah, the building would be built,
And
in the lot.
what size homes would go on? Let's say there's 7,500 square foot lots. If I
Yeah,
read that correctly.
I'd have to kind of pull that our plan back out because they have certain sizes only per lot that you can build to. Our document that we submitted has the kind of a min and a max of homes and square footages. I don't know, Kevin, if you've got that handy, what they are, but they're actually a per lot size of home that we're anticipating going there.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't have that in front of me.
I have the averages, and I've pulled up on the screen the lot widths and their numbers. Obviously, that doesn't give us the square footage, but it does give us their widths. The lot size average in this phase is 9,473.5 square feet. The largest lot size in this phase is 15,349.5 square feet, and the smallest is 7,301 square feet.
Roughly, what's the price point on the homes?
I would say there's probably not an upper end, but our bottom end is going to be somewhere around, I think we've said about 275, 285, kind of hoping to start in.
Okay. Thank you.
And that would be those on the inside
Yes, sir.
where the back alley goes at?
Yes, sir. I mean, we still have to kind of finalize some things with our builders about what they, from a product standpoint, what they feel comfortable about. Again, we were going off of kind of some broad stroke pieces when we were talking, in the concept plan about the size of the homes, but we want to try to meet the market about what they're seeing. But we feel like given the price of the lot, the size of the home, you're looking in that price range of about, like I said, about a 275, 285 mark.
Okay.
Now, as we move up, as just glancing back at phase 3, that looks like you're going to have some of your largest lots up there.
Yes, so that's the thought process there. It is.
Kevin, I didn't look up on the GIS map, the land ownership, but the land that is in that big section just behind section 1 and section 2 and 3, there were,
I believe if, from a perspective, the top right property. Is that correct?
whose property?
It's owned by Bobby Wilson and Jan O,
Okay.
according to GIS.
Have any of those landowners spoken up or anything in regards to this development?
I have not received any public comment from those property owners, no.
Okay.
This is Doc. I'd also, just to point out, they have not changed their phase 1 plan. It is exactly in line with the planned development proposal.
Right.
No comments?
No,
Sure.
I don't have any additional. We never did get a picture of Mr. Brown, did we?
You don't need to picture me. I'm not, no need to bring the group down by that, please.
You're the youngest guy on this whole crew here.
I might want to protest that.
Okay.
I'd let him have that one.
Okay, any more on this? I think that's all we have on our work session.
Okay.
And we got about 18 minutes.
What we can do, Chairman, is if you're ready to conclude the work session, is I can mute everyone's mic and turn off everyone's video. And when we get close to 6 o'clock, I can turn everyone back on for the regular meeting.
Okay, in that case, then we will bring our adjournment for our work session for May 14th.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioners, we are at 5:55. At 5:58, I'll go ahead and turn everyone's camera, or request that everyone turn their camera back on and turn the audio back on.
Unmute you, so now you're live and he can hear you.
Oh, what happened, Buddy Smith? I am talking about him. What is? You on board, Kevin?
Yes, sir. We have everyone here, video and audio.
Yeah, we are.
My clock is showing 5:59. It just turned 6.
You just touched 6, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Commissioner, we going to call our meeting for the Edgefield County Planning Commission. This is our meeting that we vote on and so forth. That for May 14th, 6 p.m. I'm going to call it to order. We already had invocation. We'll let that stand for that. We're going to go down to item number 3, the approval of the agenda for tonight. Could I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the May 14th meeting agenda.
I second that.
Second.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Anybody raise your right hand?
Aye.
Okay. All right, good.
You know,
All right, unanimous, right. Approval of the minutes of March 12th, 2020 work session. Need a motion for that.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we
So
approve
moved.
the minutes of the March 12th work session.
Second,
Second motion. Second.
motion second, all in favor? Right hand. Okay, unanimous.
you know,
Okay, approval of March 12th meeting minutes. Motion,
Make a motion that we approve the March 12th minutes, meeting minutes.
second,
Second.
motion second, all in
Second
favor?
motion.
Right hand. Unanimous, okay, thanks. Okay, our next item is the public hearing proposed for the major subdivision on Rachel Avenue subdivision. Reading of submitted public comments on this proposed subdivision. We have any, Kevin?
Mr. Chairman, I did not receive any public comment for the Rachel Avenue subdivision.
All right. We had a proposal for land development for the Steve Arthur Orchid. You have any comments for that? Public
Mr.
comment?
Chairman, I did not have any public comment for the Steve Arthur Orchids proposed development.
Okay. We had proposal for major subdivision with Tablet Hill 1. Any public comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I had one public comment for the Tavern Hill Phase 1 subdivision. This comment is from Linda Anderson, 541 Stevens Mill Drive, North Augusta, South Carolina. I'm now quoting her comment. I have commented on the Tavern Hill subdivision proposal on numerous occasions during the public speaking opportunities. Rather than try to rehash those comments, I would like to simply say this is not what the citizens of Edgefield County said we wanted. I would submit the minutes of the county council meeting from January 7th, 2020 to be presented to the PC members for their review. End quote. And commissioners, I have sent you those minutes via email.
That's all you have on that, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will, since we didn't have anything on Rachel, have nothing on Steve, Tabby here, we'll take that record. We will close our public hearing and further go into our new business. No more comments. Our first new business is the proposed major subdivision, Rachel Avenue subdivision. Adam Brother proposing development of major subdivision on Rachel Avenue, and we've discussed this particular properties on in our work session. And it seemed that that we're looking here at this, that it meet all the criteria that is necessary, the zoning district and minimum lot requirements and application process and so forth, and the permitted land use. And we got approval of others like DHEC, stormwater and wastewater and private road and acre electric, all this is pending our approval. And what we need tonight, if we all are in order, everyone is satisfied, is to get a motion for preliminary approval on this particular property. Any comment before we get a motion? No comments, in satisfaction that we could get a motion to approve to go ahead on preliminary on this particular track. Can I get a motion?
I make a
Mr.
motion
Chairman,
that
I
we,
approve the Rachel Avenue subdivision.
Can I get a second?
second,
Now, all this is pending. We approve it pending the approval of the commission that I mentioned, the stormwater, DHEC, and private road encroachment and the Aiken Electric Co-op. That should be included in that
Yes.
minutes. Okay,
Mhm.
that's second. All
You
in
had a
favor?
second for Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
excuse me,
You had a second from Commissioner Johnson.
Okay, got a second. All in favor, the right, raise your right hand. Okay, unanimous on 5 votes. All right. Follow that on to the building department. Our next thing is the proposed land development Steve Arthur. This is one located on 1285 Augusta Road. There, and we all reviewed that in our work session. And we looked at it and he explained what he planned to do. So for proposal of especially the store. I think according to my notes here, ingress and egress to the project site should be designed to maximize the automotive and pedestrian safety and facility traffic flow. Off-street parking, off-street load, refuge, and service area should be designated to minimize their visual and physical impact on the neighboring property. Street right-of-ways and pavement construction shall be adjacent to accommodate the type and volume of traffic anticipated. Project shall be designed in harmony with its physical surroundings, such a matter as to ensure land use. If I want to review these standards, project determined to be in compliance, we can approve it for development application and call the issue of building permit. Any comments, discussion? Not, we can see here that everything meet the permitting of the zone, district, application, and so forth. And just be pending the DHEC, the motion should, DHEC, Edgefield County Water and Sewer, Dominion Energy, which is the OSC and G in the South Carolina Department of Transportation. So could we get a motion to approve it to that aspect?
I'll make that motion that we approve this.
Second, Ms. Tony, second.
Second. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
All
second.
in favor? Said motion, raise your right hand. All unanimous? So
Yes, sir.
We'll pass it on to Kevin. Okay, our next. Here, give me a second. I know. Our next item is the Tablet Hill Phase 1, proposing development of a major subdivision. We talked about on Stephen Road. We had some discussion on this particular area here. And let's see here. They're proposing 7-8 lots, and everything seems to meet the kind of land development ordinance, zoning district, the minimum lot sizes, the process for land development, private, public roads and sidewalks and so forth. Mid land use. We're gonna need the approval. They got DHEC stormwater approval already. The Edgefield County Water and Sewer tap is a pending. Aiken Electric and DOT is pending our approval for them to go ahead. So we need to vote on this for preliminary plot for this particular one. Any comments? Now we can go to a vote on it.
I have no additional comments to add to this other than, you know, I just, I do worry a little bit about all the kids driving up and down that road, but I think safety precautions have been taken, that they can handle those things on that. That's where they made their entranceway. So with that said, I would propose that we approve this preliminary plat for Tavern Hill Section 1.
And second,
Second motion.
all in favor of said motion, anybody raise your right hand? And opposes? Ayes have it, so that unanimous approval. And we'll send it on for the state as well. At this time, I'd like to appreciate all of your participation, and our next meeting will probably be on schedule, right, Kevin, as far as we know.
Yes, we're optimistic that the June meeting will be held in person. If not, we feel comfortable continuing to do them as Zoom calls if needed. We will follow federal and state recommendations as best practices at this time. And we have no reason to anticipate the schedule changing for that meeting.
Yeah, appreciate that, and appreciate what you've done, Doc. Now, staff has done for this, and everything worked out fine. You gotta be safe. This time we'll have a motion to adjournment.
Just a final comment before we adjourn, and that is, I really hope that we can get back together in person for the next planning commission meeting. These are working fairly well, but it's nothing like seeing everybody in person. So, and getting more involvement from the public there. So with that being said, I would make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
All in favor of adjournment? Have a good day. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Meeting, thank you.
Thank you.